Hi, welcome to a video that you read the title of. So before you dislike this video, I just want to preface this by saying that I am doing this video in order to have a conversation about the topic of thrifting. It's a topic that has become very popular. I mean, one of my last video was thrift flip. So you can imagine that I'm not demonizing it. I just have a lot of opinion that I would like to share, and I would also love if you shared your own opinions in the comment section down below. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. I hate thrifting, and I wasn't born hating thrifting with burning passion. Actually, I was born here in Montreal, so given that most of the clothing I had were hand-me-downs from my sister or clothing from Walmart, you best believe that when I got my first check and I started buying my own clothes when I was 13-14, I went straight to the fast fashion stores. So H&M, Arden, Zara, you name them. Like, I went to those stores religiously for a lot of years. I mean, to this day I still go to those stores. Fast fashion is just a complicated subject if you ask me. But at the age of 13-14, where I was finally in a position that I could buy my own clothes, but I didn't have such a disposable income that I could even afford to go shopping more than 2 times a year, my best option in my 13-year-old head was to go to the fast fashion stores, because thrift stores weren't really a thing that you did unless you had to, you feel me? And you know, as a lover of fashion, what I really loved about the fast fashion store, when I still kind of feel guilty about, but I still like about them, is that they're trendy, they're affordable, and they're new. I love new clothing. You can't imagine how much I love new clothing. So that's what I really liked about it, and that's what really pushed me into that direction. So you're probably wondering, okay, but if you love fast fashion so much, how did you get started on thrifting? So when I was about 16, I would say, like in my last year of high school, thrifting became increasingly popular. I mean, on Instagram it was more and more talked about in the forums like Tumblr or ask.fm, if you know, you know. I got more and more interested in the art of thrifting, I guess I could say. And in second year 5, we actually had to do a project, a personal project for mine. I decided to organize a fashion show. I'm not going to talk about it today, it's just not the topic, it's way too large to talk about it. But yeah, I organized a fashion show, and one of the ways I wanted to obtain clothing for that fashion show was from thrift stores. I searched the web on the best thrift stores, and the thrift store that kept getting recommended in the Montreal area was... So since I don't want to get blacklisted from any stores in Montreal, I'm not actually going to say the name, but feel free to leave any guesses in the comments. And we can now get into the third part of this video, which is called What Got Me to Hate Thrifting. So, like I said, I went to the clothing store in Montreal. If you know that store, you already know what I'm going to say, but if you're not from Montreal or you've never been, here's the deal. I hate that store with a burning passion. So whenever you step into like any thrift store, it smells like clothing that has been worn, which it's fine. That's just the strongest smell ever, which just I don't know if it's changed since then, because last time I went was in late 2016, early 2017, so maybe they had a whole revamp. But at the time that I went, it was the dirtiest place I had ever been. I mean, the floor was disgusting, the clothing was disgusting on a whole other level than just, oh no, you have to wash thrifted clothing anyway when you buy. No, it was disgusting. It really pushed me over the edge. What really got me to hate that place was how overpriced it is. It's so overpriced. It's more expensive than H&M. What? How is a jacket over there $80? It's just, the prices are skyrocket high, and it's just, what's the point? And it just really turned me off from thrifting, because I was already in this inner debate where I was like, okay, but should I even be thrifting? Because I'm not even in a place where I can't afford regular stores. I can afford regular stores, but I'm still in a place where it's supposed to be for the people that really can't afford anything else. And the prices are that high because trendy bitches like me are shopping here. So am I doing more harm than good by thrifting, thinking that it's more sustainable and it's lower prices when it's really not? And it's just a whole, like, it's just just a really bad thrift store, but a lot of thrift stores actually have really bumped up their prices. Like Value Village, I see you, you've bumped up your prices by a lot, and it's just, I feel like we do need to ask ourselves, okay, so I'm shopping at a thrift store that is meant to be for people that are in need and can't afford anything else. Is it really the best that I can afford regular stores, but I'm still shopping at discounted place and taking away the best finds from the people that actually need them? Is it really the best situation? And I guess that's kind of what pushed the rise of fast fashion stores like Shein, Zaful, etc., because they have really inexpensive items that people that couldn't afford regular stores before, they now can afford fast fashion stores. It's just such a complicated debate to have if thrifting is the best option ever, because I definitely think it's flawed. Because if you go to a regular thrift store, right, where the prices aren't actually bumped up, I see more and more girlies going thrifting like once every 2 weeks, and I feel like thrifting started out as being this really affordable and sustainable thing that regular people like me could do, but now it's just become this way to overconsume. This excuse that, oh well, it was only, this thrift was only $5, so like I can just buy it, it's fine, like I can just hoard this huge amount of clothes and it's going to be fine. But I think that maybe with the rise of thrifting, we're mainly less conscious of the fact that we're still consuming a lot of products. We're consuming just as much, if not more, by going thrifting all the time. So I think that's also something to keep in mind when you're going. And another disadvantage of thrifting is that it's not exactly size inclusive, and it just, you don't necessarily decide what sizes you can have in your store. But with the girlies like me always taking the oversized shirt, the oversized pants, and just thrift flipping them, we're just like the person that wanted to go thrifting and that wears a bigger size won't have anything left to wear. You feel me? Like, it's not always the case, but you can see how that would happen. I feel like I'm not making any sense. I mean, I feel like I'm kind of scattered, but as much as I can rant about thrifting for hours on end, there's still very good sides to thrifting that we just can't ignore. And for example, it's really not as stigmatized anymore to wear old clothing as it used to be. So for example, a kid going to elementary school today will not be bashed on for wearing his older sister's clothing or thrifted clothing like it used to be. Now it's seen as pretty cool in high school, middle school, to be wearing old clothing, vintage clothing. So I think that's definitely an advantage. Another advantage that we all know exists with thrifting is that recycling an item is more sustainable than buying an item new. Like, no matter how you twist it, it's the way it is. And another thing that I find really cool with thrifting is that you get to be so creative with the way that you reinvent your clothing. So it can be a really ugly shirt, but you can transform it into a really cute top, really cute trendy top, and just need a little bit of creativity. And I think that's a really great thing that thrifting has afforded us, that a lot of girlies have actually started thrift flips and stuff like that, and I'm really interested in doing some on my channel. And so I just think it's a really great way to recycle clothing, since the clothing industry is just such a detriment to the environment as it is. And I think that encouraging the movement of recycled clothing can only be beneficial to all of us. And also, now that I have a sewing machine, I'm now in a position where thrifting has gotten just a lot easier for me. So before that, when I went, even if I found a cute item, it didn't necessarily fit and I didn't really know how to adjust it. And so that really puts me in a privileged position to do that. So now, where do we go from here? So I've exposed my opinions when it comes to thrifting. I've said the reason as why I hate it, and the reason as why I find it so interesting and so worth trying, so that you can figure out your own opinion on the topic of thrifting. I guess now I'm really interested in trying thrifting again, especially with my sewing machine. I'm very interested in trying it out again, but I would love to know, like, how did you start thrifting? Was it a friend that brought you to the thrift store and you just fell in love with it? Videos on YouTube from Best Dressed? And what are some tips that really have improved your thrifting experience? And also, if you live in the greater Montreal area, don't be afraid to let me know any good thrift stores so that I can try out. Just let me know your opinions in the comment section down below. If you completely disagree with my videos, that's fine. I would love to know that too. If you agreed, let me know. I really made this video in order to have a discussion on the topic of thrifting. I think it's a very interesting and it can be a very controversial topic, so I would love to know your balanced opinion. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.